Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Monday, April 18th, 2016. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Premier and Minister responsible for security on Nevis, the Honourable Vance Amory, today made a statement on the two incidents of gun violence that occurred over the weekend. Here is more.
A young man died at Nevis's Alexandra Hospital on Saturday morning after being shot on the dance floor at a charity event at a bar on Pinny's Beach. Reports are that 20-year-old Vincy Furlance of Bath Village sustained a gunshot wound to his torso and was rushed in a private vehicle to the hospital, where he succumbed to his injuries. Reports are that at about 3 a.m. a single gunshot rang out and patrons scattered. One eyewitness told Win FM that Furlance was seen standing with his hands stretched out in front of him. As he was wearing white, his wound was said to be very obvious. He staggered several feet before collapsing. The Police Violent Crimes Unit is investigating. Meantime, a young man was rushed to the Alexandra Hospital last night after reportedly being shot multiple times. Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Vance Amory, earlier today made a call for the society to take a look at itself in the face of violence in our community.
This call is for us, our citizens, to take a serious look at ourselves as a people and take a stance against such senseless acts of violence, which not only destroy the lives of those who are victims, but also the lives of the perpetrators of the crime and the families and friends and associates on all sides.
He said the acts create tension and fear in the community, even though the acts seem to be targeted.
I can only appeal to the parents of anyone who is suspected of being involved in any gang or who may appear to be involved in committing any act of violence, to talk seriously with your children, both boys and girls, and get them to move away from a life of crime and destruction. If parents or other members of the community have information that your children or any other persons in community may be involved in committing a crime or may have weapons, I only ask you to do the right thing and report them to the police or get a responsible, trusted person to assist to get this dealt with as quietly and effectively as possible.
The Premier, who was quite disheartened by the weekend violence, said we need to put away personal grudges and disagreements and learn to resolve them amicably.
Our country cannot take any more of this crime and violence. Let us stop it now. It is the responsibility of all of us, and I appeal to everyone to join in this crusade to restore our country to a place where peace abounds. May God help us all.
Premier Amory made his statement from the Parliamentary Lounge at Government Headquarters in St. Kitts. I'm Fredicia Librod reporting for the Nevis Newscast.
The government of St. Kitts and Nevis and the Federative Republic of Brazil signed a technical cooperation agreement on Friday, April 15th. The agreement was signed by Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honourable Mark Brantley, and His Excellency Douglas Wanderley de Vasconcelos. Minister Brantley thanked His Excellency Vasconcelos for affording the Federation the opportunity to sign the agreement, expressing hope that it provides a framework for both countries to deepen and strengthen relations. The Foreign Affairs Minister outlined a number of opportunities and benefits that emerge from the relations between St. Kitts and Nevis and the Federative Republic of Brazil, and noted that the possibility exists for more. Minister Brantley cited areas of cooperation including football and sports generally, exchange in language training in Portuguese and English, and opportunities in the context of healthcare as well as culture. The minister described the signing of the technical cooperation agreement as important, as it gives St. Kitts and Nevis, as a small island developing state, the opportunity to demonstrate to its citizens that through diplomacy, the government is able to attract and engage with much larger countries that share common values with the Federation. His Excellency Vasconcelos said Brazil's technical cooperation differs from others, and part of its success in providing such assistance to Latin American, African, and Caribbean countries derives from the fact that Brazil shares some common challenges and tested solutions with the territories. He said the agreement does not come with any expectations. Still to come.
I'm pleased to report that as an economist, the way that I see St. Kitts and Nevis is that we're really doing quite well.
The details after this break.
Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro
Celebrating the old, showcasing the new. Culturama 42.
Cooperate, 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 cooperate with the labor force survey. Cooperate, 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 help your country this way. November to June, some enumerators may just pass your way. Be accurate and true with your information, don't turn them away. The Statistics Department is coordinating a labor force survey between the months of November 2015 and June 2016. An enumerator may approach you with a survey sheet and ask you questions about your work and related issues. Please be courteous and true with your information, as this will be used for economic planning purposes and will help to determine regional best practices. Please cooperate. Cooperate, 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 cooperate with the labor force survey. Cooperate, 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 help your country this way.
As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars protect our environment. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back.
I'm pleased to report that as an economist, the way that I see St. Kitts and Nevis is that we're really doing quite well.
His Excellency Dr. Everson Hall, St. Kitts and Nevis's permanent representative to the Organization of American States, OAS, speaking to the Department of Information recently about his work at the OAS. Ambassador Hall highlighted economic development issues that are of special interest to St. Kitts and Nevis.
We're leading the OAS region in terms of exports per capita, that is the volume of exports relative to our population size. Population size matters, but given the level of exports relative to our population, we're doing quite well. Another area in which we are leading the region is in the area of net inflows of foreign capital, the amount of money that's flowing into the country as a percentage of GDP. That's doing well. And as the Prime Minister has announced, the economic growth is very, very strong in our region, especially since the unity government has taken over.
The ambassador also had this to say.
Where we are not doing so well is in the area of imports. Although exports are very strong, our imports are a real serious problem, and one cries out for attention. We've got to deal with that. Because what we're doing is spending lots of money on imported products, not only agricultural products, but other products. Now, we do have some plans afoot for trying to address those problems. Indeed, we're doing a great job in addressing our oil import problems, because we now have plans afoot for bringing geothermal on stream. We've got the wind energy coming up, and we've got the solar. Those are going to be very important in reducing our expenditures on oil imports. But while that is important, it is not sufficient. So we're going to continue to work on that, and to the extent that we can reduce our food import bill and we can reduce our level of energy imports, that's going to begin to make somewhat of a difference.
Ambassador Hall is also one of several experts who are working on a pay-for-performance scheme which will be introduced by the National Unity Government. The scheme is expected to raise the productivity of the economy to reduce the rate of inflation. It will recognize outstanding performance in the public service as a means of motivating civil servants to give of their best. This year, the Department of Education will introduce a new component to its over-the-top mathematics program for primary school students. The program, which runs from today, Monday, April 18th to May 24th, requires the students of grades 3 to 6 to solve word problems and present their answers live on Von Radio between 10:15 and 10:30 a.m. Monday to Friday. Mathematics coordinator Sylvia Foy told us about the second component.
Over the top, Ed last year, where there was just one component, the radio component, but this year we are having a second component, and that component is going to be televised. This one is going to be pretty good for the entire community because you will actually see the students who won on air and off air. They will meet at a designated place and they will do battle amongst themselves, friendly battle amongst themselves. There will be 2 rounds during this component. The first round is the easy problems round, and the second round will be the more challenging word problems round.
The students will be awarded participation prizes, while additional prizes will also be awarded to the students who place first, second, third, and fourth. The school with the largest number of winners will also be presented with a trophy.
I do hope that the general public will appreciate it, will help the children, will support them. Now we are looking forward this year for an even increase in performance so that we can take our place in the Federation on a higher scale and in the world also.
Over the Top is sponsored by Kenneth Selkridge, Zone 1 Auto, Brands Architectural Services, Powell's Realty, King Astro, Island Tires and Hardware, Sherry's Beauty World, and Noel's Courtesy Garage.
I have to give a big mention to our sponsor in the Virgin Islands, Mr. Kenneth Selkridge, who, like me, is very, very good with math. He likes math, and he is very anxious to see the children of Nevis do battle with math and excel in their mathematics.
Today's winners include grade 3 students Janie Herbert of the St. Thomas's Primary School, Tayshawn Wilkinson of Nevis Academy, and Taysha Stanley of the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary School. That's it for tonight's edition of the Nevis Newscast. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing. Good night.
Circus, Afro, circus, Afro, circus, Afro,
Celebrating the old, showcasing the new. Culturama 42.